aka Mr. Choose, and who am I with? As always, Joseph Huggins, aka Old Man Huggie. Talk shit or get off the pod. Episode 130. Long live the Royal Clones, motherfucker.
Dude, chill the fuck out with your voice, dude.
Yeah, sorry, audience. I lost my voice. I was playing cards late Saturday, and it just went like in the middle of that session. I played Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in person. Poker. And let me just pull it up real quick. Let's see. So Wednesday cashed out 177. Thursday cashed out 465.
Jesus.
Friday cashed out 358. And Saturday cashed out 180.
That's really good. So congrats.
Thank you.
But it cost you your voice. Was it worth
it? Yeah, but the heat check didn't stop there. I got into a tournament yesterday.
Okay.
It was like over 270 people. I got 12th place.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, but then I got into a tournament today, 280 people. It's a knockout tournament, so everybody's got a bounty on their head.
Oh yeah.
$5 each. Every time you take them out, you get half of it, so you get $250.
Yeah.
And then the other $250 goes into your bounty on your head. I knocked out 31 people in this tournament, and got 9th place though. So I was the last one to not make the final table because there's 8 people per table. But I made like over $100 just knocking people out, and so that was 9th place. So I got 12th place, then I got 9th place. That was $1,000 guaranteed in that tournament. So at 1:30 today, I just got into another one, same kind of tournament, bounty on your head, $5. You split it, $250.
50-50 split, yeah.
Except for this time, the prize pool was $4,500 guaranteed, and I took out 40. That's right, 40 people. 40 times $2.50 is exactly $100. So I made $100. The buy-in's only $11. I made $100 taking out people. There was 485 people in this tournament, and I got 6th.
Damn. So you made 100 just in bounties, and then
I made another 88 in prize money.
Damn.
Yeah, the real money is when you win that tournament, because so like I still had I had $105 bounty on my head when I got taken out. So then the guy took me out. He gets $52.50 immediately in his account, and then $52.50 added to his head. But eventually, one person wins, and whatever the total bounty is on your head at that, like once you win, you get to keep it. So like whoever wins gets like I think it was like $300 first place. First and second get the same prize for the prize pool. But whoever wins that gets all the bounties. So you win like an additional $500.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I don't think there's ever been a single person who back-to-back tournaments took out 31 and then 40 people.
Oh, that's a lot of people, man. Well, your gambling streak continues. Another round of applause. That's impressive, man.
Thank you. I even said it like in the middle of the tournament. I was like, fuck, I'm in flow state right now. Like,
well, what are you going to do? When are you going to go to the high stakes table? Just one day. Just go in
soon.
One night.
I'm going to go soon. I was talking to the dealer, Brian.
It's $200, you said? $200 buy-in?
You can buy in I think a minimum of 100, but but no, 300 is the max buy-in, and of course, like that's what you want to buy in.
'Cause, yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah, I know. But I was talking to the dealer like on Thursday or Friday. He was like, "Dude, you got to get over to the 2-3 table, man. I'm telling you." He's like, because like he's like watching me play, and he's like, "Trust me." He's like, "You're not gonna have any of this like shitty like dudes catching like random ass cards, you know."
he's like, they're not
And
even those people that play that aren't even there.
I know, but dude, okay. So I got to tell the story then. So I took a lot of money off this LAPD officer. So this motherfucker, he's like drunk as fuck, and he's like making a big scene. Like, he comes from the blackjack tables, and he's like, give me $100 chip. Just he's gonna buy $100 at the poker table and bet it on the first hand, all of it. He's like, give me. He comes over to my table. He's like, just give me one black chip. Just give me one black chip. And I just look up at him. I go, why's it gotta be black, man? And then he goes, don't start with me. Don't start with me on that. Don't start with me. This guy's like Mexican. He's like 32, I think, and he's like really buff and has a bunch of tats. And he was dressed like he had been golfing, so that's what he's wearing, just to give you a visual.
So he's like wasted.
Yeah, he's wasted. He's like, "Well, don't start me with that." And I was like, well, I was like, actually, the $100 chip is white, because of the privilege, and black chips aren't accepted at this table. Thank you. Because
He said that
yeah, I
too.
said that because there is no black chips. The black chips don't exist, so they're literally not accepted at the table.
Okay.
Um, and then uh, turns out though the another table has two open seats as opposed to ours only has like one.
Okay.
So he has to go to the other table. So we get cock blocked by the floor because this drunk dude wants to just throw $100 in the first hand. But somehow 10, 15 minutes later, he ends up at our table, and he just keeps going. They deal the hands. He goes, I didn't look. I didn't look. I swear to God, I didn't look. And then he like bets. And then and he keeps doing this every single hand. It's the exact same routine. I didn't look. I didn't look. Like going to everybody. I didn't look. Like trying to convince us, and nobody's saying anything because everybody like knows he's drunk and he's the mark, and they want him to stay and they could take his money.
Yeah.
So everybody's like trying to like buddy up to him, and then after like the eighth hand of like, oh, I swear I didn't look. I didn't look. I go, I don't know, dude. I think you looked. He goes, no, I didn't look. I was like, nah, dude, I think you looked, man. And he doesn't get that I'm just like fucking with him. And so now, like, his anger has turned towards me. So now every single hand, he wants me to go all in, bet, or if I bet, he's gonna go all in. Every single hand, he's calling me out. He goes, look at this guy, man. He's so upset. He's so angry over there. I'm like, I'm not angry. I'm like, what? I was like, I just smoked like a fucking like joint like with like white hash crystals like crusted on it, man. Like, I was working like 9 hours a day. Like, I'm not even thinking about you, dude. And like, I'm just trying to buy my time. And he keeps on trying to like, he goes all in on me. Trying to like, I'm in the big blind. He goes all in.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to be disciplined and just not, a couple times I almost called there and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for it. Finally, I get ace king. He pushes me all in, but he has ace jack. I was right up my buy-in $100, so I immediately doubled my money to 200. Not even the next hand is out yet. He goes over. He goes, so what do you have over there? Like how many chips? And I go, 200, which is double what I had from the previous hand when you doubled me up. And he goes, oh, 200. 200's nothing to me. And I go, oh yeah, I mean, I could totally see that with the LAPD checks coming in. 200 is nothing. And then he like that one hit like a spot, and then he goes, how much? He was asking me how much am I behind, like as in like how much?
Are you down? Yeah.
Do I have left in my stack compared to him? I just took him out. He can only buy in a max of 100, but he like put like 600 on the table and was like, no, you take that. I'm like, he's like making fun of my stack even though I
What
just
is
took him
this?
out,
Yeah, it's just like
and it's
fucked
twice
up.
as much as him. I know, so it's whatever. So then that happened, and then he's going. He goes to he goes, keeps on saying like I don't lie, I don't lie, and then he goes to another player like during a hand. He goes, I said, man, I don't think I can beat you. I was like, what are you talking about, dude? I was like, lying and beating people is like the job description of the LAPD. Like stop saying you don't lie. Okay, so just stop. And he's like, oh, really? Oh, and then I get in another hand with him. Boom, bust him again.
You
Now I
gotta
got
be
him for.
careful, man. These
I
LAPD
don't
guys
give.
are.
I don't
I
give
know.
a
I'm just saying they're
zero
crazy.
fucks. So
Got
so I
like
take him for
gangs and shit.
200. I taken him for 200. So now I got like 230 at the like, and it's last hand of the night. So they call it like the last three hands is they'll call that, but it gets to the very last hand. I get dealt pocket fives, and I just know the third five is coming on the flop. Somebody bets. Oh, the cop bets 35 pre-flop. This guy who lured him over, who was like trying to become like buddies with him, like really weirdly, calls the 35. I called the 35. Flop comes out, three diamonds, an ace is one of them, and a five is one of them. Before I get to bet, the other guy, not the cop, not me, bets 25. I go all in, like 200 left. Cop calls. The other guy gets all upset and folds. Uh, I flip over my set of fives. Cop doesn't have shit, but he does have a diamond. But no diamonds come out, and so I take his money again, and then cashed out. Yeah, like $353.
Damn. I mean, just be careful, dude. LAPD guys are nuts.
Man, he's a fucking mark ass bitch,
Well, I
and
don't understand that. Why guys are just like hammered in the card room, just like
but he's
throwing
not
money.
white.
Just no, I'm just saying why people are just in
Oh,
there
oh, I know.
hammered, like
It
throwing
happens
money
all the
away.
time. It happens all the
It's
time.
so weird to me.
And I know, and everybody sees it happening, and they just let it happen.
Well, yeah, you're
One,
not gonna stop them.
no, I know, but even like the dealers and shit. One time, it was there was like this guy. He was like an effeminate gay guy who was a server that worked there. And I came in, and it was like a Friday night, and he was, I guess, not working, but he was hanging out there, and he was all drunk, like way too drunk. And he'd never played poker before, even though he was working at the poker place.
Yeah.
And he was just like blackout, just like at the table, like making like ridiculous dumb bets. And he worked there, and like the dealer was just still letting him like lose all of his money. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean that's wild. I don't. I mean, I guess if you're up there and you're playing and you want to take their money, you're gonna let it happen. You're not gonna stop somebody from
Oh
betting.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're not
Like
gonna stop them.
it's a fucking casino. So it's like
Yeah.
they're like it's like if you want to do some gambling, like they're gonna facilitate it, and like that's what they're there for. So like when that guy comes in, and he's like just like going all in without looking at his hands and shit. Like it starts like the other dealers come around, the floor comes around, they're starting to look like watch.
No,
And shit.
I sell Slurpees. You want Slurpees. It doesn't matter if you have diabetes or not. If you have one more Slurpee and you die or not. I sell
Exactly.
Slurpees and you want a Slurpee. So please come in, help yourself, pick your size, lid, no lid, extra crazy straw.
Yeah,
Today
because like
they're free this month. Like
yeah,
what?
yeah, I've seen people go like spiral and
Oh, I'm
go
sure.
all in, all in, all in. Like this, like recently, this guy, and he lost like $1,000, in like 20 minutes, which is insane because you can only buy in a max of 100. Um, and yeah, it just happens. But like you'll see like other people at the table being like getting kind of nervous, like looking around, like should we be letting this person do this? And
Should
it's
we?
like
Somebody should stop them.
it's like no, we'll literally take his fucking mortgage of his house if he puts it on the table. Like we'll do that
So you can only buy in 100, but if
at
you
at that table, at that stakes table.
okay.
Because there's another table where, their hands are like $10,000, a hand and shit.
Damn.
Yeah, that's where like this really hot like Asian chick plays, and apparently Brian the dealer told me that she has more money than every person in the casino at that time times two.
Like on, like in the.
Just that's her net worth.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
What's her story?
I don't know, dude. But she was sitting at the 1-2 tables, like my tables,
Yeah.
and I switched and I sat down. I got to, or my table broke, and we got to pick our seats. We draw your card, and whoever has the highest card gets to pick the first seat.
Yeah.
So I picked the one right next to her at the other table, and then she was just waiting for like the high stakes table to open up. So then like 3 hands later she left, and that's when the dealer, he's like, you know that girl that was sitting next to you? I was like, yeah, I sat here because she was sitting right there, and that's when he told me how rich she was. I was like, oh fuck.
Damn. Crazy. Well, we're
And
here. Number
listen to this.
130. Wait, what's I'll say? Number 130. Long live the royal clones.
That's right.
There's so much weird shit going on right now. I got like
Another little
immersed in
just
it.
another really crazy, just quick, fun or funny, not fun for me. Uh, I was downtown with the Iron Ape on Saturday. There was like pub crawls for like St. Patrick's Day and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we were just down there, and that's where I used to live. And so the smoke shop downtown, I know the guy, and I know he keeps menthols like under the counter, even though they're banned in California. And so I was like, you know what, I'll treat myself, like, cause he like overcharges them. He charges $18 a pack. I was like, you know, let me do it. I haven't had menthols in a while, so I bought an 18 pack, and I was like on some edibles. I was pretty high, and like we go to another restaurant right after that. And we're like not really feeling it, so we go to the next one, chill out for like 40 minutes, and then we're walking back to my car, and I'm like, holy shit, what happened to those menthols I bought? And I lost the pack of menthols before I even opened them. I
Damn.
have no idea where I put them. Like I have like a photographic video memory of me putting them in my pocket as I was leaving, because before he's asked me to put them in my pocket so like nobody sees me walking out with like menthols.
Yeah.
And so I like specifically remember thinking that, putting them in my pocket, and then never thinking about them again. And then they were just gone. And I was like looking like a crackhead in my car for them. I just couldn't find them. So I went back and bought another pack for 18 fucking dollars.
Damn. $18 too. That's rough.
I know. Like,
What's the penalty if you get caught with menthols? What are they gonna do?
uh, oh, nothing.
Like
I
confiscate
think it's
them?
I think it's just you can't sell them.
You can have them, but you can't sell them.
Right. Like they're not going to do anything to somebody smoking a menthol. But if you're selling menthols at like a, gas station,
It's like
that's a problem.
it's a fine or something to the.
Except for like they're allowed, like the ban kicked in beginning of 2023, but like these stores knew like the ban was coming, obviously.
It's like stocked
So
up.
yeah, you're allowed to sell through whatever you stock up. So I was like smoking menthols for like the majority of 2023 because I used to work at a tobacco distributor place, and so I just am comfortable with these guys, and like I just knew where all the. But I literally smoked all the menthols left in California.
Damn, so they're getting smuggled in from the outside.
Yeah, from like Arizona. But I hit up Quick Draw, Joe Beckistan, and because I was like making fun of him for having broke ass weed out there, and then I went off about the gimp of a governor he had.
Okay.
And, yeah, and then I was thinking with this whole menthol experience, well, because we got into like weed not being legalized there, and then I was thinking about this whole menthol. I was like, menthols are legalized in Texas. I was like, what if I like shipped him out some shit from a dispensary that he couldn't get, and he shipped me out some menthols?
There you go.
Yeah, I hit him up, but he just actually eloped and got married.
I know, I saw that. Congrats, by the way.
Yeah, City Hall in San Francisco. So when he was out, we were
That's
like,
super badass.
that's not good. So that's what's up.
Illegal menthol. We should do that. Menthol running. What do you do? I'm a menthol runner. I run at night.
That'd be tight.
That'd be badass. Just like jam out, running from the cops, smuggling in some Newport 120s. Just like big ass Benson Hedges menthols.
I mean, plus I know every single owner of every single tobacco shop on the west half of the United States. So if I really needed to call in a favor, I could.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to do with them.
With menthols?
Yeah, well, I had to sell them. Like, hey man, you want some menthols? Out here, I feel like somebody would catch on to me real quick. I'd like sell a pack and someone would catch me. There's a black man selling menthols
Oh
outside
yeah, yeah.
outside the
For sure.
Costco. Like I
Yeah,
would
dude.
go, I would
That's
not
how.
last.
What's his name? Like something Gardner, Mike Gardner, maybe the guy who got choked out in New York.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was just selling Lucy cigarettes.
Yeah,
That's
Lucy cigarettes, yep.
yeah. God damn.
But they don't do that out here. They don't sell Lucy cigarettes or anything like that.
I well, that dude that I got the menthols off of, he goes, "Oh, bro, I'm only selling them in cartons now," and I'm like, "Cartons?" I was like, "Come on, man, let me get a Lucy then. Let me get a Lucy."
Dude, how much would a carton be? 18 a pack? What's he charging for a carton of menthols? What would you charge for that?
Well, he's probably not charging 18 a pack.
Well, but I'm saying, what? Oh, well, if you, let's say the guy who's selling 18 a pack.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying even the guy who's selling individuals 18 a pack, it's not selling them bulk 18 a pack. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a discount on the carton, so we're getting a discount even
Oh,
though
yeah,
we're
I mean,
paying the
that's,
premium.
yeah, that's good. I mean, it's a nice guy.
But
I
the
don't
thing
know.
is, like with the taxes they've raised up here, and like I'm out in Calabasas all the time, and it's like a regular pack of cigarettes, shit's like 13, $14 anyway. So it's like,
Damn.
yeah, but I mean that $4 extra would add up. So,
Yeah.
but they hit different. They hit different,
It's
and
true.
I cannot believe we haven't said this like during our on Jesus, upon thy head lie no bonnet, uh, on pod. I'll put that on pod, homie.
That's actually pretty good.
I know.
Have him
Like I was coming up with like 1,000 different ways to say oh my god on pod.
on pod.
Put it on our podcast. On pod.
On pod. That could be a podcast title in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to On Pod.
Yeah. Well, Kara Swisher's podcast is just called On.
On Pod.
That's on pod, homie.
Yeah, dog. Like I put that on pod, dog. Like no cap, dog. No mute, no mute, no mute, no edit. Dog.
No mute, homie.
No mute, no edit. You
No
know
war horn.
no nada, dog. Just straight up on pod, dog. That's why I put
Yeah.
it on. You ride for it. Yeah, that actually works pretty good.
No Tommy John commercial.
No Tommy Copper.
No athletic greens.
Think about that. There was an old video of like Brett Favre and like Tommy Copper throwing a football around, probably on a football field, with money that was paid for from like poor people in Mississippi. Like, do you remember those? Like those old school when it was just like Jerry Rice and
yeah.
like I don't know.
He's like on the tractor with a fucking sleeve.
And now they got like you don't see those commercials anymore because you got Brett Favre and all of them, so you can't like really do shit like Wrangler.
Right. I mean, is he like arrested or does like
I think he's
in
still.
Mississippi things are different?
I think I mean, that is true, whether he's arrested or not. But I don't think he's in jail. I think he's still being investigated. I know he tried to sue a bunch of people for talking shit about him, and he lost. I think it was like Shannon Sharp and some other people. He like is trying to sue them for defamation.
Oh.
Yeah. And they were like, well, you have to prove you didn't steal money from poor people. He's like, shh. It's like, wait, really? Shit. Like that.
Shit. I can't just say that they're defaming me.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
Fucking Brett Favre stealing from, what was it? The welfare checks, right? In Mississippi.
Yeah, and then yeah, he got paid out of like welfare. There was a big money laundering and just like fraud scheme where a bunch of people got paid. There was money donated to his daughter's school
For a volleyball court.
Yeah, for a volleyball court. He got paid like $500,000 or $2 million for an appearance fee.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if out of all like the states like that have poor people, which is all of them, Mississippi's poor people, I feel like don't really need that much help. You know, like that much of a safety net. I think they're all good. So him, like, you know, skimming a couple mil off the off the safety net for the poorest of the poor in Mississippi. I don't
Yeah,
think it's that big of a deal.
yeah. A guy who's made tens of millions of dollars definitely needs a slice of that poor pie to make sure his daughter's dreams of playing
Yeah, he's
volleyball.
pulling himself up by his bootstraps, man.
Yeah, I'm making and the rest of
American dream.
he's making sure the rest of the privileged community has the facilities that they need, and that's what we should all want. That's the American dream.
That's right.
I mean, right? I think that's what MLK was talking
Take it
about.
from the black and give it to the white,
Yeah, of course.
just like Brett Favre intended it.
Yeah, exactly. Wild as shit.
Yeah, dude. That guy needs to OD on some fentanyl.
Well, apparently he's just pilled out all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
All the time.
Be like, yo, Brett, have you tried this shit?
It's just
oh,
like,
bro, I know you a junkie.
just
I
was
know
like,
you a junkie.
just like pilled out, chucking the ball around, supposedly. So, pretty awesome.
Because he gets like a restless arm from all the
Yeah, he's like if what's his name, Ryan Leaf, like wasn't a bust like that because he was all on pills too. It's like Brett Favre, for what it sounds like.
Brett Favre was like, when you say like athlete he never missed a game.
Well, yeah, he was just like doped up all the time.
And he never missed a morphine shot.
No, there's some like wild stories about him just like being fucked up and doing weird shit.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. As we do, we start with therapy questions. Therapy question number 1, Joseph. Would you rather have no one show up to your wedding or no one show up to your funeral?
I guess it'd be your wedding over your funeral, because funeral would be like nobody wants to remember you, or you didn't, it would be like rough, like you didn't have an impact on people's lives. That would be sad, or people didn't know that you had passed on, so no one was there. So, but a wedding, like you could elope. There's so many things.
Like we were just talking
yeah,
about.
like I'd because that's like between you and somebody else. So I'd much rather it be nobody show up to my wedding than to my funeral.
There's like groups of that attend funerals for people who don't have anybody that's going to attend it.
How do they know that nobody's going to attend it?
Like, just I guess like.
Oh, like if it's like
they
like a Jane Doe or something like that too,
or
whatever.
Yeah, or yeah, I don't know. Like, just they couldn't find anybody like after they died, like to contact, or like,
That's a powerful thing.
I know.
That's like actually kind of like it's in some ways initially it sounds morbid, but that's kind of like a beautiful thing in itself. To like 100%. do that for somebody. So I'm saying your wedding, that's a moment between you and somebody else. People get married without having anyone there all the time. So I don't think.
Well, I guess it's like it says no one showed up. I mean, hopefully your wifey. Or
well, yeah, obviously
your partner.
Whatever. I mean, because it could be. There's people who marry blow-up dolls. I saw a woman who married a ghost, then got divorced and married another spirit.
Wait, what? Who got alimony?
I don't know. There's some crazy white lady who married a ghost.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh, it was on like some.
I bet the ghost was
British talk show. It was something ridiculous, and they're like, obviously she can't be that serious, but like she's serious enough to be on TV talking about it with her name under it. And it's like, this crazy bitch is in love with the ghost.
She's my cousin's sister Mary Constellata is married to Jesus. That's her husband.
Yeah, I mean,
hasn't consummated the marriage yet, though.
Okay, well, please let us know.
She insists on condoms, and what would Jesus do? No condoms.
No. Catholic.
No cap.
On pot.
On his cock.
Oh, Jesus.
Therapy question number 2. Would you rather be in jail for 10 years or be in a coma for 20?
I mean, I guess jail for 10 years, a coma for 20 years, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
You'd be out and then you'd come to and 20 years had passed. Potentially like a quarter, like almost close to a quarter of your life.
Do you go into the coma like when we're just like Fallujah is just going off, like the surge in Iraq, Bush is president still, about to get a second term, and then you come out of it right now, And Trump's trying to get a second. You missed Obama, man. You missed like the.
There was a little good time in there.
Oh,
Um,
a lot of good time.
some positivity. We all believed, or most
That's
of
right.
us did, and the ones who didn't, like,
Si se puedo.
were plotting in the shadows. Yeah, because I'd rather jail for 10 years. You could maybe do some growth, pick up a craft, learn how to do paper mache or something. I don't know. But being in
Oh
a
yeah.
coma
I
for
mean,
20
or
years,
you
you'd
could be
just
like
be
Johnny
sick.
Depp, and Blow. You go there with the bachelor's in marijuana. You come out with a PhD in cocaine.
Yeah, there you go. Because 20 years in a coma, that would be rough.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I don't, that'd be like some interstellar shit when he, like,
And
comes
how much
back.
does that cost?
Oh, yeah. Imagine waking up to that bill. You owe us, for the past 20 years, you've been in our care, and you owe us 38 million. You're like, what? It'd probably be more than that.
Is that the only reason why they're
But
keeping him alive?
it'd be something weird. No, they'd do something to where they wouldn't charge you for the publicity, and they'd, like, parade you around. Man wakes out of 20-year coma, and the Surgeon General or whatever.
You have to be taking care
They'd
of
be
this
like,
person for 20 years.
I knew we never should have pulled the plug. That's why he's alive today. It was all my call. Like, they'd blow it the fuck up, and, like, Dr. Phil would be like, you survived. It'd be a whole thing. So they'd actually probably use it to promote the hospital. If they kept you alive in a coma for 20 years. That'd be.
How many people are they keeping alive in a coma for 20 years? Just
I don't know.
Hopefully one of them wakes up.
In this one, you wake up in 20 years. So
Put
in
them on
this
the
scenario,
fucking like
in this
on the
scenario,
Shriners commercial.
in this scenario, I'm him, and the world needs
No,
me
I'm
alive.
fucking him, bro.
In this world, I'm just saying, they need me alive. So in 20 years, they're gonna keep me hooked up. Watch out, your boy's coming back. Don't call it a comeback. And then 20 years
Are
later,
you power smoking with Walt Disney? Walt Disney
well, no,
Television set?
but that's if you're, like, a head in a glass jar. I'm just saying, like, I wake up, come to, like, hey, what's happening? But then you'd have aged 20 years, so that's like, it depends on when.
Do you age just the same, like the same pace?
Because if you were
in a coma?
10, imagine if you went into a coma at 10 and you woke up and you're 30.
Oh yeah, big boners.
That'd be wild. Now, if you went out when you were 20 and you woke up when you were 40, those are big swings. Those are huge swings.
20 years is dude, I mean
it's a big swing.
It's like a 25% of your life.
Yeah. So that's a huge swing. That's what I'm saying. So in that realm, I'd rather just be in jail for 10 years.
Yeah, me too.
And be like, oh shit, Trump
Plus,
lost.
plus, I have this feeling that like I could like end up being like a major power player in prison if I ever went.
Okay, like, work your way up.
Like
I got all the ramen, son. You want that oodles and noodles? Shit.
That's right. Real quick, speaking of waking up to a big bill, did you see this shit about Bruno Mars owes MGM $50 million?
Well, MGM's denied that he owes them that much money, but yeah, something like he owes them $50 million. He gets
and
$90
they're
million.
paying him $90 million a year.
Yeah, 1.5 per show.
So this dude blew 140 mil.
Well, they said that if they took all of his salary, he'd have, like, nothing left over. They've denied that's true. So MGM says that he doesn't.
What would be the advantage of them denying it if it was in fact true, though?
Well, they own him. If that's true, they just own his ass.
I know, but why would they not want that out there?
Why would they not? Because then it would be like they allowed him to do that, so they're not looking out for his best interests, even though
they're MGM, dude.
I know, I know. That's what I'm saying. So that would be bad.
His fucking team around him is not like.
Well, that too, but that would be bad.
My
PR.
homie said that he used to like grind at Commerce Casino out here in LA when he was broke, to like try to pay rent. So, y'all know about that? They're like
like back in the day before he got, like, real big.
Yeah, and so you know about that, and then y'all decide, you know what's a good idea? Let's move to Vegas, where our boy can get into $50 million in fucking debt. How?
Well, they just own him now.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like how, like that's
They'll just be playing
the nature of the
MGM
casino
for forever.
That's the nature of the casino. They're watching you spiral out of control, and they're just gonna let it happen.
Yeah.
It is kind of like that's what's kind of awesome about Vegas. It's like you really have the freedom to do whatever you want in that scenario, and you have the freedom to destroy your life like that. And they'll let you do it.
No, that's not awesome. Um, yeah. I mean, but they say it's not true. We'll see. If he never leaves the MGM and he's just playing there forever.
He's like an indentured slave already, bro.
Yeah, that means, yeah, they own his ass. And he's sleeping there. You can't go anywhere. No, you can't leave. Nah, sorry. I'm going to go on vacation. They're like, sorry, you're playing an extra show. Afternoon matinee this Sunday. Seniors. You're doing it for
What
free.
did we know what game he was playing?
I don't know. I think it was mostly blackjack. I don't like playing blackjack. Don't
I don't
enjoy
either.
it.
Me neither.
It's too nope, too quick.
Like I was just telling somebody while I was at the players the other day. I was like the enjoyment I get from winning at blackjack is not even close to the amount that I hate myself if I've lost money playing blackjack.
Yeah.
If I sat down at blackjack and lost $200 real quick, I'd be so pissed off. And it's like if I won $200 real quick, I'd be like, okay, that was really stupid, like and irresponsible for me to do. But I'm
And
glad I
then,
got the $200.
yeah, and you walk away. You're like, bye. See ya,
Yeah,
sucker. Fuck you. And you just run off. Like I'm not sitting there for an hour. Hit me. Say I'll
right.
split this.
I am at the poker room because like I'm in control of everything
Yeah,
I'm
that's
doing.
why I like dice. At least I get to like have a routine and pick up something and shake it around and throw it, and everyone watches before you take my money. And it's not just like, oh, they just like you just say a number to me and take it. 19.
Well, like poker, I'm not playing against the house. I'm playing against somebody else.
Well, yeah, and that's the same with oh yeah, poker. You're playing against the house.
No, I'm
Die.
not playing. I'm not playing against the
Oh
house.
no,
I'm
you're
playing,
playing against other people. See that's but like in like craps, it's the everybody. We're all going against the house. So there's a
except for when I bet the dope pass line, bitch.
yeah, but fuck you.
Yeah,
I had some guy do that last time I was playing.
I'll do it every time
He
I'm at
put
the
he
craps
put
table.
he played the dude the don't pass. Sat there, played it, and I had what 100 down with like 300 playing the odds. Threw a four. Sat there and rolled for about 15 minutes, playing the board. Then hit the four. Made everybody a shit ton of money. Then he played it again, 7. Played it again, 7. And then he started betting with me, and then he got a couple hits, and then I crapped out. But when I went up, he was like, "Oh no!" Nah. He's like, "This man, fuck this guy, fuck
Wait,
that."
you rolled him out of the dope pass line?
Yeah, because he looked like an idiot. Because I rolled a 4, run the board for about 15 minutes without crapping on, and then you hit
Is
the
that
4.
a hard four?
Yeah,
Like two twos?
yeah, 2 twos. So there's a guy who played the hard. Well, that's what I rolled to win. So I rolled a 4 of my initial roll. So my odds were just on the odds of me rolling a 4, and I had 100 down with like 3 times backing. So I had like 300 behind it, 300 on the odds. So that's how I can come up. Where it was like boom on that one roll, I could roll like 3-4 times, make like $1,100, and you can play the board while other people are rolling. There's so many different ways to make money at craps if you have a strategy. I have one that works for me. That like I just need to get the dice. I can roll for a very long time. When I get them, most of the time I lose money. It's betting the board or betting with other people, like playing their odds.
The Tiger, who's been on the pod, he is it's like a beautiful mind watching him at the craps table. He's like orchestrating all his different bets. He's like telling the people that are working the table like what to do. He's like, no, 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 remember I got that over there. I got this over here. You owe me that. You owe me that. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah,
And then the last time I was in Vegas, I was with the Quant. Him and I have the exact same birthday, and he was at the craps table. And I like walked up to him and I was like, dude, my dad when he was in college, he called hard eights and rolled it and made a shit ton of money. And the Quant goes, oh, that's a sucker bet. And I was like, oh, okay. And then hard eights next roll. Who's the sucker now?
yeah.
Therapy question number 3. Would you rather be able to control machines with your mind or control animals with your mind?
I feel like machines would be more practical in today's age. You'd have more control over more stuff.
You
From
don't
like,
want to be like Scar and like Lion King,
no, because I
like
mean,
the Nazi
no, it'd be more
hyenas.
like Beast Hunter or something. If I have animals, I'm like taking over the side of an eagle and like swarming around and shit. Like I'd be, what would be easier way for me to commit crimes? It'd probably be controlling machines. I could probably do it with animals. It'd be more difficult, but if I want to
Why are you always just trying to commit crimes?
if I want to rob banks, I'd rather control machines. No, I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
I guess I could probably
it
commit
would be
crimes
more
with
practical
animals if
though.
I had
Cars, you
to.
could control cars. You'd have so much control over stuff. You could control machines in
Yeah,
today's world.
basically, you would just become AI.
Yeah, you'd be like sentient.
Yeah, you're Sydney.
Yeah, yeah, you have changed your name and everything. But I'd rather be Sydney than be like
What would be your AI bot name?
than be the guy with the heart ring and fucking Captain Planet. I don't think that's as cool as controlling. Well, I mean, controlling it. He controlled animals. That was his power. Somebody had earth, fire, wind, water, and heart. He was just like in the jungle all the time, like hugging
Which one was
ocelots.
he?
He was the one that was like the kid from the rainforest. I mean, they made him look like he was Native American, but you're not really sure if he is or not. He's kind of like racially ambiguous.
Well, what? But what was his symbol?
Heart,
Oh,
and all he did, like, and even in the opening scene, it was like earth, fire, and everybody's doing some cool shit. This one girl makes a wave with a
yeah.
dolphin, and then he's just like holding like a sloth in like the jungle, and it's on fire, and you're just like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Like, what does he do? Every once in a while, he does something where he's like, no, you shouldn't be angry. Change your mind, and they're like, oh, you know what? I love you guys. Like he does that every once in a while, but he contributes like zero. So let me be the machine dude and be like, sit down, heart. I'll let you know when we need a song sang or some shit, or we need an
So you're the
ocelot.
Tin Man. You're the
Yeah,
motherfucking Tin Man.
yeah. I'd rather be Skynet. Let's go. Hook it up. Plug me in,
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, I agree.
Matrix,
I
Neo,
agree.
Morpheus. I just changed. I
It would
changed
be
my
kind of
name.
tight though. It would be kind of tight to get an army together. What if you got an army together and just started challenging human armies with your animals?
With like an army of rats. You
They're
talked
like, yo,
about that. You
dude,
could get some shit done.
Goody's out there wilding out.
In theory, you could. It might be a
Be
more
like Prigozhin with the Wagner group, but with yours is all animal mercenaries.
the tail wagger group. That'd be possible. And you could get away with it because you'd just be controlling the animals. They'd be like, what's wrong with these animals? They're going crazy. And you'd be controlling them from afar.
Get away with it. I mean, come stop me, motherfucker. This is war. I'm a warlord now.
No, you want to be like that. I can talk to them. I can get them to stop.
No,
And
no,
then
no,
everyone's
no.
like, oh, who is this guy? He's so peaceful.
No, dude, I'm
As it
fucking
is,
Napoleon.
as it is written.
Have you seen Napoleon?
No, but I saw Dune
Yeah, I saw that too. But
too.
Napoleon's pretty good.
Is it? See, I've heard mixed things.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
I'll have to check it out.
All right. Final therapy question. Therapy question number 4. Would you rather live in the wilderness far from civilization or live on the streets of a city as a homeless person?
Am I living in the wilderness? I'm like off the grid living in the wilderness.
Right, far from civilization. So you're gonna, it's like that, show Alone or whatever.
Um, they're both equally as dangerous.
Equally?
Being homeless and living in the city is not like some easy shit nowadays,
No, I'm
man.
not saying it's easy, but it's like I can at least know, what I'm doing. Like,
Well, yeah. Well, let's say I'm out and I'm living. You'd rather? Well, I'd rather live in the wilderness. So let's just assume that they're rudimentary, but you have some sort of skills to live in the wilderness. So
I
it's either
don't.
well, okay. So let's just say
We're not,
hypothetical.
we're not just granting you skills. I'm saying right the fuck now.
Well, then,
We're gonna take,
then everybody would choose to be homeless. That's why
not
homeless people.
everybody.
That's why most homeless people don't go into the woods. And like, I'm gonna go live in the woods because I know how to live out there. That's if they could, then there'd be more people living on like unclaimed
No, man.
property.
There's no drugs in the woods, bro.
Sure, you can grow some weed. You can do your own
Yeah,
shit.
but you think homeless people want that weak weed bullshit?
Oh, it depends, but you get really good at it.
Are you in here for some marijuana?
because that would be tough living in the being homeless in the streets. There's other homeless you'd have to deal with, people fucking with you, cops. Like yeah,
Is
you
it is it tough though if you don't have like a mental like disorder?
yeah, but the chances of you developing one over time are pretty high, I think.
Just but for anybody or just
I
by
mean,
just living on the streets?
getting into shit. I mean, whether you pick up alcoholism or maybe it's some sort of other drug addiction. There's all sorts of shit that you get caught up in that could be bad for you. That would also
Well,
be.
are you
That's
are you
also
saying this
that's
is
also would be like isolating in a completely different way that I don't think
are you
being.
saying this is a chicken or the egg like uh like you're on drugs and have mental disorders so you become homeless or you become homeless and then you get on
No, I
drugs
think.
and
Well, I think it's no. I don't think it's necessarily a chicken or the egg. I think there's two different. There's lots of different ways people can become homeless and the side effects.
obviously yeah
But some people, it is because they have mental illness. Other people can develop mental illness while they are homeless, so they end up staying homeless. That's and people can spiral and become extremely destructive.
but you're saying because of it.
Well, I think that sometimes being put in a situation to be homeless can exacerbate situations. It makes it harder for you. I think
I
that
can see it like making you
like
depressed and shit, but
yeah,
like
but I mean depression can affect.
schizophrenic or something. I don't know.
Well, not necessarily, but I think that you could get into something that could lead to that. You could start doing drugs because things are difficult and you are depressed.
Well, that is true. Like my roommate when I was in the residential therapy, he's a 20-year-old kid, and he became homeless in Houston, and he started doing meth because he got robbed multiple times while he was sleeping. Like they would come up on him and
So you would stay
like
up.
yeah, so he didn't want to go to sleep anymore, so he started doing meth all the time.
Yeah, I mean, not that mine was that extreme, but when I got kicked out and when I was like in and out of couch surfing and crashing at people's houses and sleeping at fucking Lake Grapevine and all this shit, like there was a lot of crazy shit going around like while I was couch surfing, where it was one of those where if I got into some of the stuff that people that we know got into in that moment while I was in like living with some of these people at the same time, like my story could be completely different. I didn't have the same support system because I was essentially homeless and trying to climb my way out of like not either crashing on somebody's couch till their parents kicked me out or sleep like yeah, I remember sleep crashing on a couch and paying rent for a year before I even got a room, and then it was like, all right, now I got to figure out like where the fuck I'm gonna get a mattress type shit, and that was part of it. But if I got caught up into drugs or anything like that, I really could have fucking spiraled. I mean, I even got arrested, and I wasn't even doing anything super crazy when I got arrested, and I still could have continued to spiral because I was working with people at a call center that were had their kids taken from CPS who were totally twacked out of their minds because I had to sell my car to pay people back for getting me the fuck out of jail, pay my rent, had to find a job I could walk to, some little tweaky ass call center that I worked at for like 9 months to pay rent before I like ended up moving to Austin. That's why I moved to fucking Austin in the first place, was to just like get out of that situation because what I was surrounded in and what was swirling around Denton and just the people I cared about and my friends. It's like, man, I make one mistake and I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I gotta get the fuck out of here. That's why, like I say, like one of the best decisions I did was move to Denton. One of the best decisions I made was move to Austin. Best worst decision was move to Denver. It's like because there was like trade-offs scenarios and why I moved there were bad, like but then like something good came out of it, right? But I mean I was teetering to where if I was homeless and got hooked on drugs, wasn't talking to my parents, was homeless you're doing heroin for a year, yeah man, and you come out of that, even if you come out of that clean, you're not gonna shit's gonna be different and you're gonna come out with an addiction and like a mental illness or dependency on a controlled substance for the rest of your life. Where if I do that again, you could crash right. That's what I'm saying. And some people don't have that. Some people are mentally ill and they end up becoming homeless, whether fault of their own or not, negligence of others or their own negligence. But I mean, I think those things go hand in hand. You can't tell me that somebody's like, that somebody would be willfully homeless for like 20 years and like barely getting by, barely having food, and they're like are 100% there and happy with it. And that's like, and if they could do something more to get out of that situation, they wouldn't. Like I don't think I don't I
No, I like that. What like I'm
no, I'm not
saying.
saying you are, but I'm saying
No,
like
what I'm saying is if somebody is like has it all together, like like they're not like gonna be homeless for 20 years.
no, exactly. But I'm saying there are some people. So let's say they're working, they get behind, they get evicted from their apartment, right? And because they lose their job because they get evicted from their apartment. And there's lots of reasons why people lose their homes, lose their houses, like that, or like totally fucking
Right.
shitty,
So you're
shitty
saying that they start to
circumstantial,
spiral
and they
because
start to
this
spiral
is yeah,
because of
yeah.
that. And
No,
then
I
you
get it.
can
I get it.
and
Yeah.
you can come out of that still being homeless, still couch surfing, addicted to drugs. That's how you get these like people like all. That's how there's all these different. It's sad either way. Like but I don't think that one comes before the other. I think that for especially for an extended period of time, there's those things kind of mesh together. There's like a point where those two become blurred. Because somebody who's homeless for 5 years living on the streets, even on or off drugs, is like gonna come out of that with like something. There's gonna be something with that comes from that experience that would be diagnosed as like whether it's anxiety or anything like that or some sort of depression.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, you have like PTSD from that. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's things I do in my day to day life that are like not that mine was like drastically that extreme, but like how I go about like saving my money or how I choose to invest, what I choose to spend my money on, like my habits in purchasing just like clothes and shoes and shit is because it was like, oh man, these shoes are good for forever. Because like I'm there was a long period of time where it was like these are like I have like my work shoes and then like no other real crazy things that are beyond like I don't have the money to spend on that shit. I gotta pay rent, and if I don't, like where the fuck am I gonna go? You know, like it makes you money struggles. Just like I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They can make you rethink, reprioritize things, and if the earlier that happens, normally the better are you off with your money later. And if you're homeless early and you crawl yourself out of that, like I mean, come on, man, my sweatpants got a hole in them that's on my knee, the size of my fucking leg, and I need more sweatpants, but these are fine. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Puts it in perspective. But people who live paycheck to paycheck are the best with their money. That's like these like idiot like Republicans, like don't understand like oh they just don't know, they're just like
So there's
like
this.
wasting their money. It's like no 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 bro, they're like they could like tell you how to like extend your paycheck like way further than you do like because they have to.
So whenever I got out of jail and sold my truck, I have it. It's on my wall. It's framed. But they gave me when I got arrested. I just paid rent. So when I got out, I had like 2 weeks to pay rent. Um, I got out, and whenever I got out of Denton County, I was on my way to work. I waited tables, was in my uniform, got pulled the fuck over, and I had like 82 cents. And Denton County cut me a check for 82 cents whenever I got out of jail. They gave me my clothes back on my shit, and they gave me a paper check for 82 fucking cents from Denton County Jail, and I still have it. It's like framed above my computer because when I got out, whenever I like sold my truck, I paid everybody back. That was like $800. Paid rent. I had like $500 left. No job. I bought some weed from P Mare and flipped some weed for like a month trying to get my shit together and make sure I stayed afloat, and then got a call center job because I was like, dude, this is just the dumbest shit ever. And I kept that check because I thought it was fucking hilarious. But at one point, that was like pretty much my expendable income. At one point was this check, and it's like shitty, and it's from like September, like 2008 or some shit like that, 2006. But I think the paper, and the ink's worth more than the actual check is. That's what's kind of funny.
I mean, a lot of actors out here get checks like that for like residuals.
Yeah, and it's like from Denton County inmate trustee, made out to me, dated. So that's the day I got out, and I had it on my fridge for forever. And then later I look at it, I'm like, dude, that shit's crazy. Like, because at one point, like I was like, fuck. I've thought about it, like, I mean, I should go cash this shit and go get like a Rillo. Like, not because I was like, I want to go get a Rillo and I don't really can't find any change. I have this check for 82 cents. And then at one point it was no good. I'd had it so long. It was just after, 90 days or whatever it was
Denton
void.
would bounce a fucking 82-cent check.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. They totally would. They totally would bounce a 82-cent check, and then ended up paying them like tens, like what, thousands of dollars after I got out because they like suckered me in and fucked me over. I bailed myself out. I should have gotten time served. Then when I got out, I had to go to court, and then when I went to court, they put me on probation for like my traffic violation portions of that and everything else. And so then I had to pay all this stuff back. I had to pay a monthly fee. I had to check in because I got so it was like the craziest shit ever, man. It was like it took about a year. It was like 15 months probation. So I ended up paying more than what the original fines were. And I got lost. So I was in Denton City Jail, and they left me there for 5 days before
Jesus.
they transferred me to
Like
county.
Navalny.
Before they transferred me to county, and then when I got out, and they were like, "Oh, you should have been out like just like days ago." Like
Yeah.
dead
Think
ass.
about how often that fucking happens, dude.
So that's what I'm saying. So when that happened, like, and I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I mean, I went through the whole process. I'd been in city jail in my work clothes for 5 days. When I got out, I'd lost like 20, 30 pounds because they don't feed you shit in Denton City Jail, by the way. Terrible jail. And then when I was in county, I got like fully processed, like deloused, hosed, sprayed down.
Deloused.
Yeah, where they made you.
Deloused in the
I
crematorium.
was in a line full of fucking people, man. They had like probably 100 of us, and they take all your clothes off, make you get in a fucking line, walk, stand up, spray you with a hose, hit you with the powder, scrub you with brushes, turn around, do it again, spray you, freezing fucking cold water. Then they give you your inmate clothes, give you your sandals, put you in booking, put you in like a 40-degree room with like 60 other people that you don't know, and then you sit there and wait till they transfer you to general population. And that was at like 2 in the morning. So when I got in and got to my bunk, it was about 4 in the morning, and lights on and breakfast is at 5. So then I got woken up. I was at bunk 2. It's fucking crazy. And then I was in there for a couple days, and then they were like, Huggins, you're gone.
What did you do?
It was a driving on whenever I got pulled over, bad expired registration, suspended license, illegal camping because I got caught sleeping at Grapevine Lake a couple times, and then that was back in that was like previous, so those had gone warrant, and I'd gotten pulled over since then, and they never popped up, but for some reason I got pulled over. Coming out, he saw my expired registration sticker or my expired inspection sticker because this is when you still had to have both, and saw it, pulled me over in the parking lot right next to my apartment complex, ran my shit. He's like, you have a warrant for you in Grapevine and in Roanoke, and I'm writing you these tickets. I'm towing your car. It's like, please don't tow my car. Let me call my roommate. So I called Shonders, Big Red Sean, and was like, yo, come get my car. The cop waited, let Sean pick up my truck, drive it back to the apartment. One of the coolest fucking things a cop's ever done. And then he swept my ass off, and I was arrested. And that was like two or three in the afternoon.
I got a fucking DUI parked in my apartment parking spot, and the cops said he wouldn't tow my car. And then I left the keys in my car so my roommates could move it if they had to. They couldn't find it. They kicked down my door of my room to see if I had a spare key, and the cop brought in the tow truck and towed my car.
Yeah, the cop did
from my parking spot.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he really wanted to arrest me, but he fucking had to. And then I got processed, and when I got processed, I wasn't talking to anybody, like really in my family at all, like, and I hadn't for a long time. And I called my job and was like, hey, I got pulled over, I got arrested. So they fired me over the phone. I got fired whenever I called them. And then they let me get some phone numbers out of my phone. And then they locked me in a cell by myself. And then way later, sorry, we're way off topic, so we'll shorten down these, but this is crazy. Where I take a nap, because what's wild is the night before was it was too fun of a night. Like, probably should have gotten in trouble the night before and didn't, and then got arrested the next day on my way to work, not doing anything at all. Fell asleep, woke up when they brought this other guy in who'd just gotten his his fourth DWI, and then they brought in another guy who got a DWI and was on a bunch of Xanax, and that guy slept for like 3 days and then woke up and it was the nicest fucking guy. We got processed the same time. He was like my buddy when I was in county for a couple days because he was this big huge bald guy, but he was like super feminine but real quiet, really fucking nice. His name was Sean, and he was, because I was like going through it, man. I was like spiraling. I tried calling my mom at that point, so I woke up my mom like one time when I was just in holding. Hadn't spoken to her in forever.
I haven't spoken to her forever. You thought the best would be
I didn't know what I just didn't know because I couldn't.
You have a call from inmate.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Spiraled in there, and that was like, I gotta take care of my shit. I gotta get my shit together. I gotta start taking my shit serious. I have been, but not serious enough. I gotta be like accountable for my bullshit when I'm navigating through this, because I know what the consequences are and how bad things can be, even if you just don't like take care of illegal camping tickets and you let those spiral for a couple of years. When you get pulled over and they're like, yeah, you got 10 grand in warrants, you got like 5 grand in tickets because they've spiraled and they've maxed out, and you have a warrant for each one, which is doubles the ticket. So you owe us, so you have $10,000 in tickets, and you're like, what? I have 82 fucking cents in my pocket. That's like,
yeah, we know.
So, you're in your work uniform, and you just got fucking fired. It's a very eye-opening situation where you're like, fuck. So when I was in county, there was this guy 3 people ahead of me. He was a home.
Would you say that's rock bottom?
Yeah, that was definitely that. Well, that and then some of the time that followed that period, the things that were happening to people around me, because I got out, the boys were still good, everybody was all right. The roommates were still all there. Everything was still fairly pieced together. So I still had like a good supporting cast around me. So I was able to maintain a positive mindset through it. But then when a lot of those people started to peel off, it was very isolating in Denton with no car, like no real family support system. It was a very isolating. I had my really good friend Brandy and John, still great friends to this day. But other than that, it was very like spooky, shaky out there. Sorry, I know this is like a rambling ass story, but it's crazy.
That's fine.
But there was this crazy old man in front of me, and he was homeless, and he was deaf. And he was arrested. He was in a separate holding tank by himself. He was all sorts of fucked up. His face was all bloody. His shirt was all battered. He obviously had a medical bracelet on, so he was getting processed after being in the hospital. And he had cops on each side of him. And he was like 2 or 3 people ahead of me. And they were talking. This guy was asleep. He's homeless, passed out, and he's deaf. These cops stumble up on him and wake him the fuck up, right? They're like, hey, and they're trying to get his attention, and he's not saying shit because he can't hear him. So they go to wake him up, and when they wake him up, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe he thought he was robbed. Maybe he's just some crazy old man. But he, like, stabs this fucking cop. So the cops beat the living hell out of this guy. Cop's okay. Then after about, like, 8 minutes of fighting with this guy and beating him up, they realize that he's deaf, and he has no idea what's going on. So he was in there for, like, attempted murder. So that's, like, that dude was, like, half covered in blood, naked, like 5 people ahead of me in Denton County Jail. But since I had never been in trouble, I made trustee. So they like after I got through and put in Gen Pop.
You made what?
Trustee, which is where where it's like more, you can't have any assault charges and no theft. And if you have none of those, you can qualify for trustee. So jail, like Gen Pop, you'd get like 1 for 1 on days. Like 1 day counts as 1 day. 1 day basically is like the equivalent of money towards something, right? So you could get like, if you're a road crew, let's say you're a road crew, and you get to go out and like pick up trash and do that shit, you can get 5 to 1. You can get 5 to 1 on days. 1 day counts as 5 days. And that's how, but that's like good behavior.
You can only do that as a trustee.
Yeah, as a trustee. Trustees do laundry, cafeteria, sweeping, mopping. They do jobs around for money in commissary as well as shorter sentences. That's why it's like, oh, he got sentenced 10 years, but he got out in 3 with good behavior. Probably had no, because there's like stipulations in qualifying. So if you've like gotten a ticket for beating the shit out of somebody, you'll never qualify for that. They won't, or theft because you're in opportunities where you can steal stuff, or if you've ever like ran away. But you could be on, get arrested for bars. Yep, DWIs
For what?
for
For
like
oh,
Xanax
Xanax.
controlled. There's so many people in there for controlled substance. It was wild.
Yeah, it's
Half like 80% of the white guys in there got pulled over, popped with some Xannies, bro.
I've been to jail more times than I can count. Like I'm sure I could go through it and figure it out, but I have no idea how many. It's been that many. I've never been to jail sober, bro. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah, well, and that was like, and I mean, to go through from city to county, the processing, the interviews, the like multiple mugshots. It was like a 2.5 weeks event. It wasn't like oh, I'm in here and I got out in 3 days. It's like I was in city jail for almost like a business week before I got out, and there's not like a lot of ways you can call it super expensive. That's why me and Miss Sticky were so cool. She was the only real person who would answer the phone while I was in jail the whole time. So she racked up a crazy phone bill. And Papa Sticky to this day gives me shit for it. But that was
Really?
like, yeah, but that was like life saving, bro. Like, because I remembered his phone number from when we were kids, and you couldn't call cell
Yeah.
phones back
No,
in the
I
day.
know.
You could only call landlines. So
Yeah.
it was like,
All of our homies, like,
yeah, we all had our numbers memorized.
because
So
we still, yeah, because they were our cell phone numbers. Oh yeah, our landlines, but even our cell phone numbers, like I have memorized from high school, for some reason, but I don't have anybody's memorized, that I know
yeah, like
past that.
yeah, but yeah, so like that's how that was like my
But I know what you
lifeline.
mean. Yeah,
So
yeah,
she
yeah.
reached out to like,
I think I called Craig's parents' house when I was in jail once because I
yeah,
remembered it. Yeah,
yeah. So that's like, so they reached out to like my parents. She got in touch with my dad, got in touch with people. So she was like a G, like PH till I die, bro. Like held it down for me hardcore. That's why we were so close post that. It was like this. We just had this thing because she would just talk on the phone with me for like 20 minutes because I was like losing my shit like in some jail cell by myself for a good 8 or 9 hours before they brought that dude in, and I was just like, fuck, this
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. She was the best.
And my dad was like, sucks, and he had every right to be like, sucks.
Yeah.
I earned that shit. So that's where it was like an eye-opening epiphany for sure.
All right, so let me propose a 10-minute break, and then we come back hard on the topics.
Deal. That's fine.
Yeah, because I want to do these topics, and I
Sorry, that was a little bit of a ramble, but
no,
like,
no,
yeah,
I liked it, but like, as long as you're cool with the 10-minute breaks,
yeah, yeah,
okay, cool. Because I think then like we can come in fresh on that.
yeah. No worries.
All right.
back.
And we're back. On to the topics, the current events of the day. Joseph, do you have something from across the pond for us?
Yeah, dude, this shit's super fucking weird. Um, my sister has been in town. My sister from LA, and she was going off on this. There's an obsession with it on Twitter right now.
With what? Are you gonna tell
The
the people?
the disappearing the disappearance of Kate Middleton, Prince William's wife. Okay, so there's all these rumors swirling. Some people think that there's body doubles right now. There is a Photoshop picture. A Mother's Day.
She's on CNN right now, bro. They got video of her for the first time.
Where was it, at the farmer's market? That walk in with somebody? Because that's the one where people say that might be a body double.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, this shit's crazy, and people are becoming obsessed with it. So Princess, they're saying that she came out. Princess Kate reappeared. She had abdominal surgery. The royal family released a photo of the Princess of Wales and her children Sunday in honor of Mother's Day in the UK. But shortly after the picture came out, it went viral because it looked doctored. Totally was. Totally photoshopped to shit.
I couldn't tell. Like
the bricks, there was hands. There was hands where things were airbrushed. Dude, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I didn't look that hard. I just assumed that it was obvious, and then it's never been explained
the
to me.
Bricks, if you look on the bottom left, there's the wood on the building where it's all blurred and looks like it's been scrubbed. Then on the sleeves where she's holding her kids, her hand around her daughter, her sleeve blends and airbrushes out where it disappears in no time, into time, and the hands don't match up. And also bricks.
So what do you think?
That's what nobody's why everybody's why would you doctor a photo? Is it because she has a hospital bracelet on that has sensitive information, so you airbrush it out? But why would you airbrush out the floor? So people haven't seen her since this abdominal surgery. Now there's also rumors that Prince William allegedly has been banging one of her friends. And hold on, and they were banging before they got married. They have a kid. And now supposedly she found out about the kid and they're getting a divorce. I'm telling you, my sister works for a large company that is in media, and she's obsessed with this. And people are obsessed with this because there are doctor photos. I've looked at that video. Right. I don't think that's her.
They've got a photo up right now. It's a photo of the late queen, and the agency is saying that one was doctored as well.
So back in January, the palace said that Kate had a surgery and was recovering privately until Easter, which is March 31st. As far as I know, that's still happening, even though they said they do not expect regular updates. There's no pictures, and then they post a picture, and it's fucking doctored. Or there'll be an article posted where it's oh, Kate Middleton out and about at the sea market. She's great. And then you look on the photo credit, and it's photo credit 2021. You're what? Why are they hiding this bitch? So, and are they cloning her? Some people think that maybe it's because she spilled the beans on Epstein Island.
I mean,
and she got abducted.
What? It is super weird though that after, we hadn't seen her, the doctored photo, the whole controversy, and she just doesn't come out and just be my bad.
But one thing that's interesting about it is people are going off the deep end, like fucking crazy off the deep end. Twitter right now, this has started this whole thing where now there's pictures of Obama because Obama violated the Logan Act because he met with the prime minister in private of the UK, and now oh my god, he's because and
we're all concerned about the fucking Logan Act now
because he was conspiring with other governments, and
Trump
now
is literally bringing Paul Manafort back to the campaign.
They're pulling up pictures of his trip, and they're those don't look like the same hands. Never mind the lighting, like how right now this side of my face is pretty white because I have this bright ass fucking screen on me and shit. But the lighting, they're oh no, that's not Obama. That photo's doctored. Because look, the hands are photoshopped and they're not the same skin color. Dude, Twitter is...
Dude, You know what though?
I've
What about Ben Carson? His book is called These Hands. What if his hands are doctored?
like
Ben Carson was the first person to ever successfully like disconjoin Siamese twins, right?
yeah, I believe
From the
so.
head.
So it's a weird flex, man, for Ben Carson. So there's
How does that simpleton like hard R retarded person become a doctor?
like if you see this picture, I have it up on stream right now. That's not her, bro. There's no way that's her.
That
There's no way
that
that's.
one where she's walking does you're right. It doesn't look like her.
So everybody's freaking out. So these pictures are being released like it's these people. There's all this controversy, and it's super fucking weird.
Okay, so we know there's controversy. Give me a theory of what's going on like that sounds like
Moderately plausible.
yeah.
So here's the doctored photo. It's not the full one. I wish it would show it. But they were like fighting to have it removed. So this Mother's Day photo got released by I think it was the AP, and then they made them take it down.
Okay, hold on, back up.
Okay.
They weren't fighting to have it removed. They put in a
Oh,
kill order for it being
yeah.
that it was a doctored photo, which they do like a few times a year on certain photos. It's like Getty is a
Yeah.
company that has photos that they keep like and that you can like purchase them from like their library. And so yeah, Getty and the AP were just told by the royal fam, or they figured out that it was doctored, and so they took it down themselves
Oh. Well, why post it in the first place?
because they didn't know.
Or did they?
So they released
There's a multiple plausible theories because also remember, the king. No one's seen the king in for fucking ever either. He's mysterious and no one's
because
seen
he has
him.
prostate cancer.
I know. Look, I'm just saying. I spent Sunday hanging out with a British woman, stepmom. She's a G, and she was rambling about this as well with my sister, and they were talking about it. And she's like, "It's just weird that we haven't seen them. It's weird that they don't release statements. There is no pictures. There is no nothing. But they're telling us that they're recovering well, and." It's weird. All these photos don't make fucking sense, and none of these photos or pictures or videos of her are even real. She's like, it's very confusing. I think one thing that's weird is the whole story with him having an affair with her friend. Supposedly, this friend is married, and her husband prefers the company of other people, of other men. Live your best life. But that has been out like in the tabloids, and supposedly William and her were knocking boots before they got married, and she was unaware of it. That she got pregnant, they had a kid, a bastard kid, and then later on, I don't mean that he's like I just like Game of Thrones
No,
shit.
bastard is a
Like
real word.
like a royal term, right? So then he pretends like it's not his. Then they get married, supposedly, and they continue their affair. She finds out about it. So my sister is convinced that they're getting a divorce. My sister is convinced that she's out of the limelight because all of the shit's going on. She's trying to get a divorce. The royal family is notorious for hiding people when they're being insubordinate, not doing what they want them to do. They'll ship you off to some castle in Canterbury and make you disappear for 4 summers, and then they bring you back, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm all good. I mean, if you watch The Crown, they talk about this shit. There's the whole, I mean, all of these people.
But
But
she's
hold
the
on.
fucking mom of the like of an heir
Yeah,
to the throne.
but if he has a child with another woman, even out of wedlock, obviously their kids would be the heirs to the throne. But this other kid on some Jon Snow shit might have a claim to the throne. Might be able to. He'd be the oldest son? Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Actually it's a girl. No, so she has a girl. It's a daughter. I apologize. It's not a boy. She has a daughter. So supposedly this daughter might be William's kid, and then Kate found out about it and is like flipping her shit. Supposedly.
So the abdominal surgery is just made up.
Yeah, like the abdominal surgery is like they got to figure shit out.
So then what's with the what does that have to do with the doctoring of a photo?
Just to keep up public appearance. Everything's great. Everything's good. There's no problems here. because the last thing they need is
So you
scandal.
think? So what
Think
do you think
about
that
it.
photo was? Like a picture of some other people?
No, I think that that's just some. I mean, who knows how they got a hold of that photo and somebody doctored it. Somebody could have made that shit on Reddit and it could have circulated and then somebody picked it up and put it in an article. Who fucking knows? But I think people are
No,
looking.
she posted it.
Wait, she posted that doctored
Yeah.
photo? Oh, okay. I
Yes.
didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that she.
She signed it with the letter C because she's Princess Catherine.
Well, that's even. Yeah. Then why do it? Maybe she's not seeing her kids. Maybe the reptilians got her. I think there's
Did she
validity.
do? Was it actually her? I mean,
I think somebody else runs her
it
account.
was. No, she's the one who said. They said that she likes to. She came out and said, like a lot of amateur photographers, they like to mess around. Like I like to mess around with these photos. So, like ridiculous. Like Prince, like he couldn't take the heat on this. Like say that he was the one who took the picture. Supposedly, it's like you couldn't have said like you messed with it. Just be like, oh, this dumb bitch messed with it.
Like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of mystery shrouded in it, and the last thing they need is more scandal. The king is married to the woman he was cheating on Princess Diana with. I was sitting there with a.
And you know what? I just saw that she said she was gonna take a break from her royal duties. Like, bitch, like, didn't you just
Well,
become queen?
well, she's not queen yet.
What do you mean yet?
Well, you mean Camilla is going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean she shouldn't even be doing it in the first place. But what I'm saying is Princess Diana was beloved by the world, right? And they treated Princess Diana like shit. Everybody holds the royal family in low regard because of that. The king is now married to that woman that he
No,
cheated.
I've held them in low regard since 1776,
I
dude.
get that. Hold on. But I'm talking about there's a lot of people with this new rebranding of the royal family because they've done a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job of rebranding themselves and making the world kind of fall in love with the glitz and glamour of the royal family. There was a period of time where they were very good at that, and Princess Diana helped put them over the top with that because she had nothing to do with that group of people, and she was like this kind of pretty blonde in a Philadelphia Eagles jacket, mind you, and she helped like rebrand the family. The way they treated her, there's a lot of animosity from all over the world towards those people. There's people who are disgusted at the fact that Camilla's the queen consort. Like they're disgusted by it because she shouldn't even be there because of Princess Diana. The last thing now, so he's married to her. He's got prostate cancer. She's vanished. He's vanished. You have this woman that the world despises as the queen consort. It's like the last thing they need is somebody getting a divorce because there's another kid out of wedlock. There's a whole theory about Princess Diana and Harry not even being Charles's because she had an affair with like some polo dude, trainer guy, who's some redhead who looks just like Prince Harry. It's fucking crazy. And she admitted to having an affair. There's so much scandal in this bullshit, man, that I totally think they're covering something at this point.
This is what happens when you don't marry your cousin.
Yeah. There's no way. Like that picture that of the video, that is not her. Like, get the fuck out of
Like
here.
I just don't even understand why anybody in America gives a single fuck about Kate Middleton.
I think it's just interesting because there's like a missing princess, and people are like,
Yeah,
"Oh
like,
no, that's
okay.
like some Princess Bride shit." So that's kind of tight, and I like the whole conspiracy theory thing behind it. But I think that they're totally like he was doing something goofy and he got caught probably something to that effect.
So now she's disappearing and doctoring photos and like I don't know, man.
Maybe they like doctor this photo.
I think maybe what could have happened is like they're like we're the royal family. We don't have to like do what they like. They're like, oh, we don't have to like show Kate like when she's recovering and it's like, okay, well then this is gonna happen. People are gonna lose their fucking minds. So
Yeah, and I will say, yes, they don't necessarily have to, but it's
no,
interesting.
I can see them saying that to themselves.
Yeah, I can see. It's interesting to listen to um, a British citizen talk about the royal family at this point, especially at the age she's at. She grew up over there. She's
Who?
seen my one of my stepmom. So she's seen a lot and been around a lot, and she's like, yeah, but she's like, we pay for all their shit. So they
Yeah.
owe, like, if I want to know what's going on, I should know what the fuck's going on. And they used to not say shit like that. If you used to say stuff like that about the royal family, that would be borderline blasphemous. And to some people, that still is, but that group is getting smaller and smaller.
You know how many fucking British people have told me uh that the amount of like money they get back with tourism and blah 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 is like 10 times as much as that they give to the royal family, and so that they're totally fine with it.
I'm just saying there is a growing dislike for them
No, I know.
around all
Even
these
Elizabeth
scandals.
said, like in The Crown, Queen Elizabeth said that she thought that her and uh, I guess her husband, I think it was either her husband or the king, the king now, but that they were the only ones that could like make this work, and that after them it was going to be kind of a problem, and that's
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
So
People like they might just get over it. Yeah,
so
you're
so
right.
so would they do
Come
whatever
be a
they could
republic like us, baby.
with all these scandals? Would they go above and beyond to try to quill this one, to try to squash this, because this is the golden couple, this is the future king, and he'll be a king like in our lifetime because Charles is like about to fucking die with this prostate cancer
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So
Queen
he's gonna
Elizabeth
so he's
waited to
gonna
die until he was about to die.
ascend the throne and find out you have like a daughter out of wedlock with your wife's best friend before y'all got married. Now
To me,
she's
that's
left you.
king shit. That's king shit.
But
That's
yeah,
King Henry type shit.
but that's like the tipping point. That's when people might be like, "Fuck this," because you got to realize they're public figures. They represent them as a whole, so that's how they view them. They get paid to be public figureheads. Essentially, that's their job at this point. Is they're spokespeople for the UK, and they're out there doing some scandalous shit. That's like Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels type shit. Only like you didn't vote for the fucker and you can't do anything about it. And his
Him,
dad and
well,
his
well,
dad's
it's not
already.
Stormy Daniels type shit. Okay, this
Oh
is like
yeah.
some chick that he probably liked.
Okay. Well,
Not a fucking porn star that they like wheeled into the
hey,
golf
Donald.
club.
Donald probably liked Stormy.
No,
Like,
no. Stormy was just talking about
I like you a lot.
how he would tell her how much she's like Ivanka.
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's pretty cringe. It's pretty
yeah,
cringe. Pretty cringe.
yeah.
Pretty cringe. But I mean, there's a lot of scandal going on. Flip side, Twitter's gone batshit crazy with this. It's all about reptilians. She's been kidnapped. She told the secrets about Epstein Island, and that's why they snatched her up.
How the fuck would she know?
Kate Middleton spilled the beans on Prince Andrew and is one of the whistleblowers. No, I'm serious.
I know, but like, why
she's a
would she know any of that?
clone. I don't fucking know, but they're just because she's seen some
It is
sinister
kind of
stuff
like
in
some
the
North
royal
Korea
palace.
shit. Like Kim Jong Un's wife's been missing for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so's
He
what's
just
his name?
parades around the daughter.
What's his name? What's his name? Miscavige is the wife of the leader of Scientology. His wife's been missing for like 9 years.
Jeez.
Yeah,
She's
something
just
like
lost
that.
on a property
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, like they're all private property. And they're huge, so you're not gonna find her. She's out there. Say she's at some reprogramming camp, or that like she's not reachable for comment, but she's okay. And people are like, "What?" That's half of Leah Remini's whole shit about Scientology. She's like, "Where's Miss Miscavige?" That's like half of her whole thing. Is like, "Do you know where she is?" They're like, "Well, no one does. We're gonna find her." And then she just like starts harassing people. But nah, I'd say keep up with it because like now Twitter is like every old conspiracy, Pizzagate, everything is like back up. It's like full tilt, no bars hold bullshit on Twitter right now. Every time I open my Twitter, it's some conspiracy theory about triangles on stoplights, and I'm dead ass. And like, oh, Obama has got different colored hands, and Joe Biden's really James Woods with fake teeth. It's like crazy. And then it's like, oh, like 2 million views, 50,000 bookmarks,
What
four
sort of
thousand
fucking
likes.
rabbit hole did you go down,
This
bro?
is what the algorithm, and this is what Twitter is just saying on like there's my thing, and it's for you, which is always like Elon shit, because
Well,
Elon's
yeah,
like
yeah.
hey, and then a bunch of random shit, and this is what it's not shit I follow, it's not shit I look up, shit that the algorithm's just force feeding me down like a pipeline, like, oh, Pizzagate, Pizzagate, Pizzagate. Go on Google Earth and put in these coordinates, and you'll see like Tom Hanks on top of a golden bull in the middle of a redwood forest. And it's like, what? And someone's like, oh my God, totally looked it up. It's real. I'm not a bot. And its name's like user 28796732987. And it's like, it's fucking madness. And this has people going off the deep end. Like I'm saying, there's people that aren't into conspiracy theories, but are like there's a lot of closeted people that are into the royal family. Like there's a lot of chicks who are all about the royal family.
No, I don't even know if they're closeted. Like it's like a fucking epidemic. It's disgusting.
Well, some people, but if you like true crime or the royal family,
All because of a fucking photoshopped photo.
it's because she hasn't been seen since
Well, with that
January.
as well.
Yeah, so
Okay.
she hasn't been
But they
seen.
literally said she wasn't going to be.
Inconsistent statements,
They said she wasn't going to be seen until Easter.
false sightings.
Hey, but you know who else was expected to be seen in Easter? Jesus,
As it is written.
after he died.
Like
Is she the second coming?
if Jesus showed up and he was like Paul Atreides, I'd be down. I'd be like, my bad, bro.
No, this is what this
This
is.
homie just wrote a sandworm up here, bro. That shit's crazy. I'm
cla-
down. I'm down.
Nah.
I'm in. Let's go.
I clown my mom all the time. I'm like, if Jesus did show up for the second coming, you wouldn't believe him. You just think he's some crazy asshole claiming he's Jesus. Because there's been multiple people who claim they're Jesus, and every time you're like, that's a crazy asshole.
What was that 90s angsty girl Jesus song about Jesus on a bus? There was some song about Jesus on a bus and would you talk to him? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. It's some angsty girl song with a acoustic guitar. But yeah, probably people would everybody say he's crazy. Homie'd have to show up like floating and shit. It'd have to be a spectacle for people to believe that Jesus came back. He'd have to like drop down, pyrotechnics, be like, "Yo, what up?" Big booming voice, trumpets, a couple chariots. The shit would be wild. Angels like doing the Dougie and shit. It'd have to be lit for people to be like,
but I thought
"Nah,
he's supposed
this."
to be modest. I thought he's supposed to be
But
modest.
he'd be humble on the mic, but he'd have to set it off to let people know. Otherwise, he wouldn't believe him. If he just wanted to get it over with, like, look, you guys, y'all are all.
Why doesn't he call in a favor from his dad?
That's not how he works, dog. He is his dad. He is his own dad, bro. Come on now. You don't act like you don't know.
Not even his dad, his stepdad.
And he's the ghost of his dad. Oh, I'll show up. What's up, son? What you got? What you need? I'm not your stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up.
I'm the cuck that
Oh, Jesus.
believed your mom when she was pregnant that she was still a virgin.
But I mean, social media site, TikTok guidelines. Wait, there's been no suggestion the shopping footage has been altered in any way. Sleuths continue sharing the video like this, getting millions of views. Social media, the TikTok does not allow misleading or false content that may cause significant harm to individuals or society, regardless of its intent. Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's like
Bullshit.
the dumbest shit I've ever heard. But yeah, man. I mean, Twitter X or Twex is going insane. This has like sparked every conspiracy theory to explode. Next one. No bond for Mr. Trump. Trump needs $464 million bond in just 6 days. Less than that now. And he can't get it. Nobody's going to underwrite a loan that big, but he's got till Monday.
Hold on. Nobody's going to underwrite $450 million loan. And the loan is for a bond on charges that you were found guilty of inflating your assets and lying about your finances. So when they need collateral from you, like your assets and your finances, and you're telling them how much it is, they don't believe you because you were just found guilty of lying about it for decades. So turns out Like you'd have all these fucking like sycophants who love Trump, but $450 million is still $450 million, and
Well, so in court he said that he had $400 million in cash.
yep,
That's something that he stated.
under oath.
That's something that he stated. And now what's really happening is because he's wanting to put up property or real estate as collateral,
But they won't take it.
but they won't take it. And there was somebody who was breaking down the issues and why nobody wants to go the real estate route, including Trump, when it comes to paying this fine or paying these fines in these court cases and settlements, is because if he has to sell the property, let's say he sells, Trump Tower, and he sells it for like $400 million. Let's just say he sells it for $400 million. The first thing he's going to have to do is he's going to have to pay tax. He's going to have to pay city tax. He's going to have to pay state tax in New York on that transaction right off the bat. Somewhere around 40% tax right off the bat, plus his capital gains. He's going to have to pay capital gains tax because he has capital gains on all these properties. Then he has to finish paying off any mortgages or any liens he has on any of these properties. And then whatever is left over is the money that he could put towards paying these fines. So if he sold a building for like $400 million, he'll be lucky if he's left with like 15 to 20% of that at the end of the day to put towards a fine.
But that's not even it though. They don't want to take it as collateral because it's not that liquid.
Well, it's not that liquid, but I'm saying is
it would take them way too long to
oh yeah,
to like actually get like cash out of that, like out of a building. However, that isn't like the Attorney General Letitia James.
yes,
She is totally down to seize his assets and liquidate them because because that's fine for her. They're still going to get their money. It's just a matter of if it's cash or if it's the buildings. It is the people that are putting up the cash loan or cash bond. They don't want to take the
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why they don't want to take the buildings, because if those do have to be sold and they do have to recoup it in any way, shape, or form, there's not going to be enough money in those properties.
And there could be other people who are also like part owners and shit.
Like I'm just saying, even if he started the process to sell his buildings now, he would not have enough money left over. And Letitia James has the ability to go off after properties outside of the state of New York as well that are attached to this organization. So that means she can seize, like as of Monday, if he doesn't come up with this Monday, she could potentially seize his properties. She could take his shit. She could seize Mar-a-Lago from him.
She said she's going to.
Yeah. A panel of appeals judges will decide by March 25th whether the judgment can be paused while Mr. Trump appeals. This would be the best case scenario. Who is not eager to avoid having to pay an estimated 16% of what Forbes reports as his $6.2 billion net worth. If he secures a bond for
There's
a fee,
no way they're gonna fucking pause it for him, dude.
or a compromise option, the New York Appeals Court could come back to Trump with the middle of the road opinion, somewhere post a bond covering $100 million. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I think he's been so arrogant they have no want to do this, or they're saying he could pay the $400 million.
It's the same judge that he told that he had the cash to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they could take any of his building, not just those in New York, including the 58 Trump Tower. They could take Mar-a-Lago. They could just snatch this shit up. And she said, I look at what she says. She's like, I look at
40 Wall Street every day.
40 Wall Street every day. She's just like, I'm trying to take your shit. And that's crazy. Because there's not really, he's pretty fucked. And and there's not really a way for him to pay this. Now, this is Kid Rock and Ted Nugent did say they're playing a Chili Fest this week, and they are pledging their appearance fees to the funds. And Donald Trump's raised about $1.6 million towards his goal to pay this, which is incredible. And it's lost a lot of steam, but the fact that he's raised $1.6 million is pretty crazy.
No, it's not. Crazy as in it's not a lot.
Crazy as in people would donate that much to he's at 1.6 million.
Of course. Yeah. Dude, this guy is so remember when he would tell everybody that that nobody has any control or like over him, like no lobbyists, no businesses, because he's so fucking rich. Nobody can like has
Yeah.
like leverage over him. And now he's not only is he not like so rich, it pisses me off. I've been saying he's not been a fucking billionaire for 8 years. I've been saying like how much of incompetent he is, like he's not a
Yeah.
good businessman, and nobody's gonna say, you know what, you were right. You know,
Well, I mean,
we'll
the people
never
who
get.
know, the people who know have known, so they're not surprised by this at all. It's the ones that are stupid. They're gonna still say that it's a witch hunt and that it's not fair. That's why he did raise 1.6 million. And some people are just like, "Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
bullshit."
Meanwhile, Biden raised 50 million in February.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's obviously a major discrepancy.
Like it's not only that he needs money, but his campaign is fucking broke.
Michael Cohen was talking about this very thing and saying it's actually a slippery, dangerous slope because who's to say if he
That he
gets
owes a shit
money,
ton of money.
who if he gets money from somebody else to pay these fines, who's to say what if it comes like back channel Saudi Arabia, back channel fucking China or Russia? Then we'd have somebody, we'd have a president, potential president, we have a presidential candidate who's in debt $500 million to a foreign government. That would be like the most.
He already was though, not that much, but like that was already a problem.
No,
You know,
definitely.
he owed Deutsche Bank 300 million. Like he's taking money from the Russians. Like there's literally on camera, like Donald Trump Jr. is saying like we don't need to go into any of the banks in New York because
We get
you can
money
just go to
from
the
the
Russians.
Russians. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, like so these guys already like that. Why do you think like he's like so like up Vladimir Putin's ass? It's like just to like say like fuck you, like to troll people, or maybe is it because Putin's got like a piss tape and he owes him like 500 million?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, they'll probably end up pausing this.
No,
You don't think?
no, it's the same judge. So you want to go back to that judge and tell him that like the like what he just sentenced you to, you want him to just change it because turns out that you lied and you don't have the money that you said you had.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like we could, yeah, it's like, hey, look, we'll pause it for you, but we'll try you for perjury. We'll charge you with perjury for lying about having $400 million, or we'll just take Mar-a-Lago, which you
That
take.
would be the best fucking thing
Like,
ever.
and so that's why he'll probably not pause it, is because you lied and be like, it's a trade off. I'm not going to pause it. I'm going to take your shit, but I'm not going to try you for perjury for lying under oath about having $400 million in cash.
Even then, when he got convicted for lying about having 400 million in cash, people would say that he's still a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would throw
Forbes
around.
just
He
Forbes
said he
just
was
said
like
it.
worth like 5 billion, 6 billion. He just throw numbers out there, like
It's
bro,
like LeBron when he was showed up at Miami. Not five, not
not six, not
six,
seven.
not seven.
Like LeBron in the Heat turned to 11. Hallelujah, call the Reverend.
Yeah, dude, get the fuck out of here. So we'll see, but they might take his shit Monday.
What a fucking surprise! Like that he didn't have the cash.
Last article from NPR: Reddit and YouTube must face a lawsuit over radicalization of the Buffalo shooter. So tech companies Reddit and YouTube must face a lawsuit filed by survivors of the racist shooting in Buffalo that alleges the site's algorithms helped radicalize the shooter and prepare him for the attack. Lawsuits
I thought
claims
they
that.
already like did this.
Well, no, he got tried and he got sentenced. The shooter
No,
killed 10.
yeah, I just thought that they.
Well, I think they've been. Wait, the suit is a test of the limits of Section 230, a law that has long shielded internet platforms from lawsuits over content posted by their users. The plaintiffs are 25 survivors and represented by a legal group of Everytown Law, which specializes in gun safety legislation. They asked for an
Because there was like a case where they were suing YouTube and shit for radicalizing like members of ISIS. I think maybe it was.
Yeah, well, and Reddit and YouTube had independently asked the judge to dismiss the lawsuit, but in a ruling Monday, the judge rejected those requests. For too long, social media companies have skirted accountability by hiding behind Section 230, claiming immunity from liability for content they distribute. We must hold accountable every single bad actor that prepared and equipped the shooter to target and kill members of Buffalo's black community. I mean, this isn't surprising to me at all. This was like coming down the pipe. Not saying when it comes to like sexual content, like if it's like a porn site or Pornhub, they just locked everybody in Texas out of Pornhub. You got to upload a picture of your ID with age verification. That's wild, right? But you know, not on stuff like that, but when it comes to like Faces of Death and like all the crazy ass, like pretty gory stuff, it was a matter of time before somebody tried to sue these platforms. And they used to try to do it back in the day, or like little distributors, but now it's on such a massive scale. And the algorithms are tuned to show you more of what you look up. I've been watching a lot of like,
No, well, like not TikTok.
well, not TikTok.
TikTok will just show you whatever the fuck TikTok wants to show you. But no, like the
But this
thing
is
like,
Reddit and YouTube.
right. So like the thing with 230, it protects them from like if I or you and I were just like going off on some like hate speech right here, like on YouTube, then YouTube's not liable for that. Like that's what 230, the essence of 230 is saying, is like we're a platform, like we're not liable if somebody does something really fucked up on the platform. Um, and then but we have like an obligation to try to take it down as fast as we can or whatever. But when what's not protected by 230 is the algorithm that you created, that it's like it has nothing to do with like you're the one who's like pumping that bad content, you know? Like your algorithm is pumping it because you know that it's going to get you more clicks. So now that's actually you're the one who is like in charge of like distributing it more. So therefore you should be held liable.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. It's like it's not just on your platform. You're the one who's like sending it to people.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this guy looked up like close quarters tactical combat tips, top 10 tips. And then for the next 4 weeks, every time he opened up YouTube, it was top 10 close quarters combat in the dark. Tips whenever getting in hand-to-hand combat and someone wants to take your gun. Like that's all his homepage is going to be on YouTube. It's just like, because I watch a lot of, oh my God, like TPOs, restraining order Zooms, court cases on Zoom. Very interesting for me, and very therapeutic. And listening, just hearing the process and how it all works out. Um,
Yeah,
and
but the up next feature,
and my algorithm is loaded with it. It'll be loaded with just more court cases for me to watch more stuff. And if I watch more Eagles stuff that day, then the next day it'll all be Eagles and sports.
I get it, but like so, but they shouldn't be like you know, like you'll play a video without you even like selecting the next video.
Yeah.
If okay, well, if they're starting to play a fucking ISIS like propaganda video and you didn't even click on it, that's not protected by 230. Like YouTube, you automatically did that.
Yeah, exactly. And if and that's then so this court case is saying, and by doing that and having it structured that way and force feeding this content, like, oh, you know, he was obviously going on a rabbit hole and then you kicked him down the fucking rabbit hole and you helped exacerbate the issue. That's why they're suing him. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's been lots of people who've tried to attack, well, not really attack, but scrutinize 230. But this is like, because that's how that's how kind of how the algorithm works, man. For on YouTube and on that and on Instagram, I can look up hashtag shoot someone, and all it would do is pump me everything that says hashtag shoot someone, whether it's good or not. And like the moderation on some of them is wild. Facebook's moderation is like terribly bad on their video stuff. But yeah, I mean, so they're being sued. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's depending on what type of judge.
I mean, it's just like Facebook, like with Instagram, knew that their algorithm was leading to like teen depression and suicide, and they ramped it up. So you know, that's not shouldn't be protected by 230. You know, when you were designing the terrible content to be like amplified is what they call it.
You don't want to. It's like giving a Nazi on a soapbox like a PA system.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and then being like, oh, but it's all my fault.
Yeah, it's
There's
not my fault.
Nazis
The
in the.
Nazis
Yeah, it's
talking.
not my fault. The Nazis keep showing up at the park to listen to this guy talk. It's like, well, you gave him a fucking PA system, dude. Like, he was
Right.
already like,
Or another way
we.
to say it, it's like you're a bartender, you own a bar, and like a Nazi comes in, like one time, it's like okay, whatever. But then he comes back with his Nazi friends, and you just let him hang out. It's like, well, you didn't start off trying to be a Nazi bar, but guess what? Because you let the Nazis hang out, now you're a Nazi bar.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, Reddit. I mean, their algorithm, but depending on what you follow, it'll give you stuff that are in that category. So it's a little interesting on Reddit. Although, YouTube's algorithms and autoplay functions, yeah, and like they've gotten away with a lot and skirped a lot of this shit. This. I mean, we'll see. It's a big attack on it. That's a powerful group to come after 230 like that too. I mean, and the judge didn't dismiss it based off of the grounds of 230 right off the bat. So they're gonna be able to sit there in court. That's coming. That's pretty interesting. So they're gonna have to go to court for it. And I wonder how many times they've been able to ask for it to be dismissed and it's been dismissed and we don't hear about it.
Well, I'm telling you, I think that there was some adjustments made as far as the up next and the autoplay and recommended videos because of a similar suit about ISIS, but I don't know all the details, but I'll look into it and maybe bring it back
Well, I'm
next
saying
week.
it'll still autoplay stuff that I'm not even watching in that category, and it's something else. Sometimes it's someone I subscribe. There's like best for viewer. There's a best for viewer category. So on this, if you finish the video, pops up another one of our video podcasts, and it'd be the best suggested one for that person who is viewing. But that could be any of the videos.
Right, and a lot of that like is awesome. Like it's like you, like it's like trying to recommend shit that you'll like. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can like when they know that enragement equals engagement, and they tweak the algorithm that way, then that's when it's a problem.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Um, but yeah, I mean that's it for articles, man. One also, this just popped up, man. This Ryan Garcia boxer guy's going off the deep end, dude. I don't know if you've kept up with that, but we talked about him a couple episodes, the Bohemian Groove episode, where
Yeah,
he's this boxer. Dude, this guy's going off the fucking deep end. Like spazzing out, having lives.
I'm not kidding. Like, oh, that week I was listening to a podcast, and there apparently Alex Jones broke into Bohemian Grove with another guy,
I talked about it.
another reporter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Whenever he broke in and he caught them with the big owl
no,
statue.
right, but
Yeah,
he was with somebody.
yeah. There was two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was on a podcast I listened to, talking about how he broke into Bohemian Grove with Alex Jones. He was like actually talking about something else. He was like, "Oh, that was back in the day," and like was like talking about it. And I was like, "What are the fucking odds? I've never even heard of this."
And it was like crazy as shit, right?
Yeah,
What he was describing, and that's what I was describing, where they like burn like a human effigy, the guys in robes with torches,
yeah, no,
fucking
yeah. But it was just
Moloch, the owl
what are the
god.
odds that he would be like on a podcast I was listening to, like bringing it up like the week that we brought it up.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like he wasn't talking about Ryan Garcia.
yeah, but now Ryan Garcia is going off the deep end. He's got a fight against Devin Haney coming up April 5th. And they're saying that
I
this
thought it was
might,
April 20th.
or maybe it's the 20. Yeah, I know it is 420. But they're trying to make it to where like maybe he's trying to get out of the fight by claiming mental illness, and that's why he's
Pussy.
acting this way.
I thought we got past that. You can't call someone a pussy for mental illness.
Yeah, maybe it's not mental illness. Maybe he's telling the truth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for 130. Long live the royal clones, and keep up with this royal family thing. And when it comes out that there's like an illegitimate child and all this stuff, you're gonna I told it so. Dude.
You heard it here first.
You
We
heard
called
it here
it.
first. Yeah. There's something going on, dude. But good show. That was a long one. I went on a little rant about jail,
Good. That's what makes the show good.
but that's also like to pay your tickets.
It's real talk.
Don't go to county. Do you got anything deep, poetic for us today?
Meditate, bitches. I apologize about my voice.
It's actually better now than it was earlier.
I know it's weird. It's like it was like I couldn't talk at all. And then I took my dog to the dog park this morning, and she was chasing squirrels, and I couldn't yell and then I finally yelled a couple times, and it was like I broke through to the other side, and I could actually like start to form actual coherent words.
All right, there you go, Jim Morrison, breaking through to the other side. I like your style. Well, that's 130. Like, follow, subscribe. As always, we appreciate you stopping by. Be good. Be safe. Go fuck yourselves.
Shout out.
Don't go to
Recording
jail.
stopped.